Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 11:05 Pacific Standard Time. Sam, we've got folks still chiming into the room. Please be aware of that because at exactly 11:10, the door closes, bolt lock, padlock, sealed shut, and not allowing anyone else into the space. Before we get into our training session today, I want to first acknowledge ZHLs in our space. I see Kyle, who if you're at the Stockton team, you're going to be experiencing him in person here in a couple of weeks on the 30th. We've got an in-person conversion clinic for the Stockton office. Kyle's going to bless us with his presence as he's a local ZHL officer. And Kyle, we're excited to have you here. Marine, I hope that it's good to see you as well. I hope that Kuhn was able to get a hold of you sometime last week. Did you get a call from one of our agents was that last week, Kuhn?
What's happening?
Did you get a chance to touch base with Marine? I see she.
Oh, yeah, I did. Absolutely. You know, I had to make that transfer. I ain't trying to get in trouble again.
She looks like she's confused right now, that she has no recollection of your name or
she
your...
What you mean?
No.
Marine, you better stop playing with me.
I'm playing, I swear. Oh, just jog my memory. It was last week. Just jog my memory really quick.
You remember that girl Maya I sent you? You got her pre-approved already.
Yes.
See, there she go.
Okay.
You about to get me in trouble.
No, I would never do that. And we did have a conversation, Vernon. Yes, I vowed.
Yeah, I know that's right. I know that's right.
Just got to do a quick check-in, Marie.
Listen, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. You jog my memory. We're all good. Everybody's good. Yes.
Right on, Marie. Well, thank you for confirming that because we dealing with a repeat offender over here in Kuhn. No, I'm just playing. I love that kid. He called me directly and you gave him your contact information. So I was hoping that he'd reach out to you. You gave me his word that he was, and you just confirmed that he did. So cool. Proud of you, man. You moving and grooving on a different level.
Thank you, big dog.
You're welcome, big dog. I also see Steven. Is it Stefan or Steven?
Steven.
Steven is a new addition into our space. I'm going to give them quick, brief couple of minutes to really introduce themselves. I don't know if Kyle wants to give us a market update from ZHL's lens, if Marine's going to do it, who's going to pass the microphone to Steven, but I do want to allocate a short window at the top end of our conversion clinic this morning for our ZHL partners to really engage with you all, introduce themselves. There's some new faces in the environment. And so without further ado, who am I passing the microphone to first?
I'll take the mic.
Kyle, shoot, brother.
I'm a former rapper, man. If you pass the mic, I'm just going to take it and go with it.
Dude, I heard.
You guys might have heard some stories, so if the ones of you that are in the Bay Area want to come over to Stockton and meet me on the 30th, feel free to make the trip. I mean, you're missing out if you don't come. You should be there.
So real quick excerpt. So Kyle he may not look like it, ladies and gentlemen, but a legit lyricist.
Hey, that's profiling, Vernon. That's profiling right
there. So we're having a wrap off with Elias and Kyle at the in-person mastermind on the 30th in Stockton. So if you feel like you're musically inclined and you want to get on the stage with the bat for a battle, our ZHL loan officer got stupid dumb flow. So Kyle,
I'm an original Eminem. But anyway, back into real business. I'm more like Snickers. I'm a little more satisfied, than an M&M. So,
Lord.
Anyway, yes, the market has been it's been fluctuating, as you all know. We've had some stuff going on overseas that's been affecting interest rates. Apparently, things are going a little better. Rates have gotten a little better this week than what they have been. I can tell you from the lead standpoint, the phone's been ringing a lot more, and there's a lot of deals and multiple offers going on. There's action. I got some stuff going on with some members of your team as well. We're getting some stuff in contract. So here's a person I've been talking to. Can you get them pre-approved? It's now, hey, we're submitting a contract. Can you get a pre-approval to me tonight? So there's a lot more instance where we're just jumping right on it, right? So everything's starting to close quicker. Good news, good signs. Everyone take a deep breath now because this spring and this summer is going to be just cracking, I think. So be ready to roll. My phone and stuff, I put all my contact information in the chat, so you have that. As far as ZHL, you guys know what it is. We're here to answer the phone. I answer my phone 7 days a week till 10 o'clock at night. I'm sure Maureen does the same. You need to get a hold of us. If you don't believe that, talk to some of your teammates who sent stuff over. We are here to be a bullet in your gun. We want to help you succeed. When you succeed, we succeed, right? We are on commission. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but we are commission salespeople. So we need to close deals to get paid. I mean, I got 2 daughters I'm trying to put through college, and that is not cheap. So the more loans I can do, the better. So I'm going to do anything I can to close for you guys. So feel free to reach out. I put my cell in the chat, like I said. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me up on the cell. We can just chat. If you want to hear stories about Tupac and Sir Mix-a-Lot, that's fine too. We can go through them in the middle of business. But absolutely, I'm excited to see the office on the 30th. We're going to go over some training on. I was a flex agent as well, and I was a successful flex agent. I was closing like 15 deals a year. So I'm going to try to help you guys be as successful as you can, not only from the loan standpoint, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a teach up on the agent standpoint too, just from a flex agent perspective. I know you all are great agents. I know you got Vernon here, who's a great mentor. So you got it unlocked, but just from a perspective of someone who's been in the streets with you, and I can give it to you the right way. So with no further ado, I'll pass it on to Maureen. I'm going to get on with actually closing some loans, and I'll let you all have your meeting.
Good to see you, brother. Thank you for having me. See you on the 30th.
Absolutely.
Have a good day. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
In my defense, I just want to say, Kuhn, then I didn't know that was your name for short because I have it as Yan Kuhn.
Oh,
just wanted to make sure I pointed that out.
That was a great cleanup, Maureen.
No, I swear, because I'm like, I remember, and I do remember, and he was great, and it was informational. Yeah, to Kyle's point, like we are seeing people are like calling. I kind of did a little one pager. I'm going to send it over to you, Vernon. I did want to let you guys know too, huge thing that we have. Just, so for your market too, we did launch our manufactured homes yesterday. So that is now available. I will send you over like the details about it, but I'll just tell you just a couple things. Yes, it was yesterday. It's offered for conventional financing, and I'll let you know what's eligible. It's HUD certified, which we would look that up. Built after June 15th, 1976, and it's on, most important, on permanent foundation. And if the land is owned by the buyer, multi-wide homes only. I'll send you again the little one pager so you guys can, make sure to keep that in your back pocket in case you need it. Just wanted to let you know too, like the 30-year fixed rates are in the low sixes still. I have been pricing those out. People are still, of course, rate sensitive, but they're finding the right payment strategy, which is helping. Refinance is huge too. Just letting them know that, you can always refinance. We don't know, what's going to happen with the market and whatnot, but we are seeing people that are, when they're finding the home that they love, they are taking that next step and writing offers. I wanted to open it up and then I'll hop off too. But if you guys have any questions for me, I know I only met you once. I still, Vernon, need everybody's, I don't have everyone's contact information. And I would love that just so I can text everybody individually. I know Kyle's a rapper and he's cool, but, I want to make sure I get in that mix too. And, I'm not a rapper. I'm not even going to pretend I am. I did listen to Tupac. I was that generation, and Biggie. But anyway, I do want to have everybody's contact info so I can reach out. And Kuhn, we're cool, right? Just want to make sure before I hop off.
Let me see how I can gather that
Vernon.
and see how I can get that to you. I'll check into that and get back to you. Okay.
Thank you so much. And I'll send you that one pager about the manufactured homes. But before I get off, does anyone have any questions for me?
Maureen, you may not be a rapper, but you are sure cool as ice water. I'll tell you that.
I think so too.
Thank you, Maureen, for being in our space and making yourself available.
Of course.
We really appreciate you. Nothing like
Absolutely.
this dynamic in the
No,
relationship.
I love it. Yeah. And I enjoyed being in the meeting last week too. So I want to make the most of it. If you guys think of anything after and you want to ask me a question, work out a scenario, whatever you need, know that I'm here. And I put my cell phone number too. It's my personal cell phone number in the chat as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was a pleasure, everybody.
Stephen, I think we're passing the microphone to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll keep it super brief because I know we're probably over time. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Appiah, ZHL Market Advisor. So, if you've previously worked with Kayla, I do the same role as Kayla, so I'll be working with you. So, happy to be here. If you haven't worked with Kayla, what is my role? If you've ever watched the show like Ray Donovan, that's who I am. I'm your ZHL fixer. You have an issue that goes beyond loans, you come and speak to me. If you're trying to figure out, okay, my pre-approval metric, I don't know what I'm doing, how do I get up there? Speak to me. I'm going to help you with training, escalations, questions, mortgage 101. As you can probably tell, not from the US. I'm from London, England. I'm from South London. Done mortgages in London. I've worked in Canada, did mortgages in Toronto, Vancouver, moved to the States. I've worked across the whole of the Midwest and now the Bay Area. Live in Seattle, so I'm not too far away, and I'm hoping to take a road trip down to see you all in person. So thank you very much. And yeah, please do reach out to me.
Yeah, thank you for the warm intro, Stephen. And we welcome your wealth of experience and knowledge and exposure worldwide into our space. As you'll learn as you continue to pop in and out of our environment, we're different, and we are different with intention. And so I think you're going to fit right into our flow, our sequence, and our rhythm. And we're glad to have you as an asset to our program, man. Thanks for being in the space today.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Cool. Hey, moving right into it. You guys are welcome to stay as flies on the walls. If you have to exit stage left to go and take care of more important business, we understand that too. We're here every other Thursday, first and third Thursdays of the month. Like clockwork, this Zoom link at 11 a.m. So, thank you for being with us today. And again, don't feel any type of way if you've got to exit stage left to go take care of some other things. It's all good.
Gonna head out for now, but definitely I'll join again.
Boy, don't be so fast to accept the invitation, Stephen. I mean, no, I'm just playing. Hey, have a good one, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Likewise.
Right on. Quick update. And I want everyone's, there was an email notification, an email alert that Elias sent out earlier this morning. If you didn't have a chance to read it, I'm going to kind of give you a verbal. We're opening up an opportunity for one of you, ideally, to join our leads department coaching staff. We're looking for a conversion coach who has the drive and the desire to really want to continue around agent development, drive the program, the performance metric, the performance for our Stockton program even further. If you're interested in stepping into a leadership role, operating as a conversion coach, all of the requirements and expectations have been listed in the email. I want to encourage you to click the link that Elias sent out, set up an interview with him, and let's see if you're a good fit for what we're doing. We're going places, and we've been able to expand and evolve and grow. And in order for us to continue to expand and evolve and grow, we've got to expand and evolve and grow internally. And so I just wanted to bring that to you all's attention. Everyone may or may not be connected to their emails. If you're like me, we get hundreds and hundreds of emails on a daily basis. But that opportunity, we've just made that available. We've been talking about it on the back end for some time now, and now is the time. And so we're looking to bring that new person into our fold and begin that transition, starting in May. And so what that step-by-step framework looks like at this point hasn't been all the way built out. Where we are now is putting out the invitation and hoping to garner as much response and talent and desire and drive from you all as we possibly can. So if that's resonating with you, click the link, get on the calendar for the interview. Let's see if you're a good fit for the space, and let's roll with it. That's what I got for you there. Okay. It's 11:20. It's been some time since we looked at our data. We know that the data tells the story. What I want to do is look at this. Let's break this down like a performance coach looking at a scoreboard. I don't want us to just look at what's happened. We're going to look at what it means and then what do we do next, because our numbers on the scoreboard are alarming and it's telling us a story. And so give me a second to pull my screen up. I should have it already locked and loaded and ready to go. And of course I didn't. Boom. Can everyone see my screen? Yes, just give me just any kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, everyone. Let's break this down like a performance coach looking at a scoreboard. This is our scoreboard. Yes, the data tells us what's happening or what's not happening, but it doesn't tell us what it means, and it doesn't tell us what we do next. Here's what we're going to discover now. This are what the numbers are saying. If we look at our appointment set line item over the past 7 months, and we'll include this month up to this point, 52% appointment rate, 59 in March, 64% in February. Looks like 62 in January, 52 in December, 59% and 59% both in October as well as in November. When we take the average of that, now we know Zillow's performance metric is 80%. Internally, it's no secret. We don't feel that that's realistic. Our metric is more in alignment with 60% appointment set rate. Okay. The trend that this data set is showing is that our average appointment set rate over this 7-month period is right at 58%, 59%. It shows that we're solid. According to the internal performance metric of 60%, we're right at that threshold. Now, on a bad day, a bad month, our floor has been about 52%. On the best month that we've produced over the past 7, it's been 64%. That averages out to 58, 59%. So what that says is we got a strong ability. 60% plus is high level performance. Us teetering at that threshold is reflecting that we have a strong ability to convert conversations into appointments. This is what this is saying. We're right at that threshold. When we get the call, we answer the call, and we have a strong ability to convert that conversation into an appointment. Now let's look at the next probably more important and more revealing data set, which is the met with rate. On average, including this month, understanding that we're only through the middle of the month, but we're 24% appointment met rate this month, 37 last month, 31 in February, 42 in January, 28 in December, 41 and 41 in October. I don't know about you, but from a performance coach's lens, what we're seeing in the trend is an inconsistency in us being able to not convert the conversation into an appointment, but to build some sense of commitment from the buyer to actually show up to the appointment. Our floor, where are we? Is our current month in production is 24%. Our ceiling has been 42%. Ladies and gentlemen, our appointment met rate average is 34%. This is where our leak is. What this says is we're generating the opportunity, but we're not consistently capitalizing on it. So let's take some real numbers. Let's connect some dots real quick. If our average appointment set rate is at 58% and our average appointment met rate is at 34%, that's a 25% drop off. Let's think about that for a minute. We're losing 25% of our opportunities. That's that gap, that 25% gap. That's where your money is. So we have the the capacity to convert the conversation into the appointment. But when it comes down to moving it through the funnel, the revenue opportunities are flowing through our hands. They're falling through our hands. Now, how do we look at this from a different perspective? These numbers say something very specific from a production standpoint. From a production standpoint, one of four things are actually happening. Either our confirmation of the appointment is hella weak, or we don't foster a commitment, a psychological ownership from the consumer to actually commit. We don't have that emotional connection to get them to commit to meeting you at the appointment. Or we don't have a structured follow-up cadence from when we set the appointment to when we meet the appointment, meaning bridges, touch points, reminders, calls between, one performance metric and another. The fourth possibility of why this is happening is there's too much time from when we set the appointment to when we actually go and meet the appointment, whether we postpone it, we reschedule, or the request is for extended period of time between set and met. Now, Elias and I have been listening to calls intently over the past maybe month. And what we're hearing is a consistency in the quality of the call. We're not setting the appointment. Now, that may not apply to everyone on this call, but there's a roster, and I don't know how many I've listened to over the past, maybe 30. A good 80% of those calls, we are leaving business on the table by not setting a concrete appointment and fostering and generating or manufacturing a sense of ownership and commitment from the consumer to show at the appointment. That's the missing piece. That's where the 25% drop off is happening between set and met. Now, from a performance standard, we are exactly where we should be and where we want to be as it relates to appointment set metric. However, our next level is going to come from increasing, or let me say this, tightening the gap between appointment set and appointment met. Think about it. If our average is 34% and we don't do nothing else, we don't take another call, we don't take another lead, we simply tighten up, tighten the space between appointment set and appointment met. And we bring that average up from 34%, I'm looking at my notes, 34% to 50%. Your production explodes without having to make an extra call. So then it becomes a conversation around, do we need more leads or do we need to tighten the space in our performance metrics to generate more through intentionality? Quick question. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the economy now. How are you guys seeing that impacting the amount of appointments that you're setting in comparison to the amount of appointments that you're actually meeting? Are you seeing anything in real time in the market that has had a direct reflection on what's happening globally? Anyone? No. Everybody?
I do. I got a lot of calls for, yeah. I'm not on video. I'm driving right now. I will have like these two properties, and I know one of them Shoreham. Can't remember the other one, but people will see them because they're like, "Oh my God, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, what a great price point." And then they call them like, "Okay, yeah, it's cash, it's cash only. Here's the disclosures." Like, they're jacked, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, you can't, which they're great if you want to go check it out, but it is cash only as is." So I'll get a lot of calls for distressed properties or properties that have no interior photos. And then they'll be like, "I want interior photos." And, and then you're like, "Call the agent. I can't provide you with interior photos. Unfortunately, there's tenants, and they're, and they just call about like, just it's just not something that they thought it was a completely different thing than what it was. And then you also have, people where you'll get like a real-time touring lead and then you'll try to contact them and you can't attempt contact. So I just will get a lot of those as well, just for a little feedback if that helps.
It all helps. And I'm not sure it answered the question in terms of what's happening globally, how that's impacting what you're seeing from a consumer level.
I guess not. Sorry.
But thank you. No, but it's good because you're giving us insight on what you're experiencing in the Stockton market, right? And I really appreciate that. So if I'm not hearing any other feedback or seeing any other feedback from those who may have seen a shift in the market, a shift in consumer activity as it relates to in response to what's happening globally. Am I seeing that with no hands being raised, there is no difference that you guys are experiencing on the field on the consumer level? Go ahead, Gary, what's your contribution, man? Thank you.
So on a global scale, I don't know if it's affecting the rhythm or the sequence or the algorithm of it, but I am fielding questions of what I think the future holds, and interest rate and market share, all these things. I don't know if they're really concerned or if they just want to know if I understand it like they understand it, and then I try to explain to them that globally, nationally, yes, it's a big picture, but we live in the Bay Area. Specifically, if we're talking about a city, most cities in the Bay Area are even more micro than that. We have to go neighborhood specific, which in turn is going to determine the value of the property we get in. And the one thing we can never control is the interest rate. So if we need a house, we need a house, and there's always a chance to get a better rate if it comes around. That's
what I'm hearing you say, Gary, is you acknowledge what's happening in the global economy, but then you tie it into more of a local micro market level Bay Area and speak to the realities of what's happening in our micro markets in the Bay Area as it relates to an urgency, as it relates to interest rates, as it relates to our local economy. So you kind of frame it, you consider what's happening here, but then you are more specific on the implications or lack of implications, or the how proprietary the Bay Area market actually is. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I start off with totally agreeing with them of how confusing it could be and how uncertainty it must feel watching the news or being on the internet. Like I side with them first and sit there a minute. Like, wow, like it would be for me as a consumer, it'd be hard for me to, and I put myself in their point and tell them they're brave for even asking the question. Most people just don't even ask; they just keep their head down. So, yeah, what you're saying is right. I acknowledge it, and then I explain to them, but we're in the Bay Area, and if the house is nice, position nice, it's going to sell fast. That's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I love that. Otis, say thank you for your contribution. Gary, it's good to see you, man. Otis, you got your hand up. What's your contribution, bro? Rapid fire.
I think that, your job is to, take the fear mongering away. At the end of the day, I always tell them, don't worry about it. You always got to take your cause and effect and your positives and your negatives. And that could be something that could be a positive, because if rates tend to go up, that should get you, Vernon, to want to jump into something quicker than later, because at the end of the day, we're losing money right then and there. And then obviously the way real estate works is those could be perks for us, because now we're looking at a very competitive market. So if rates go off, some people might drop off, put us in a better position. And it's just going to put a seller in a bind too, because now they're going to probably have to give up some credits or help us or anybody else that's going to win the bid, to the finish line. So when rates go up, it's really good for people that really know and study seller financing. Seller credits, because at the end of the day, you could really mop them and still get a great deal. So not even worrying about that and getting the fear out of the door. Like, hey, don't even worry about what's going on over there. This is right here. As long as we ain't got nothing coming over here in the sense of war straight here on the homeland, we have nothing to worry about. You got the money now. I think that we should position ourselves right now before we lose money or we find ourselves outbid of our area. Now you're having a 30 to 45 minute, hour long drive, Vernon, compared to us just being down the street, and you could have made it happen if we took that. So I would just like to get you with a lender to show you the differences of what $5,000-$10,000 in a seller credit could do for us instead of waiting 30, 60 days and getting out of there. So just being smart and knowing how to, move through the funnel. That's all.
And that's good stuff, Otis. Debunking the fear, speaking to the reality, and then emphasizing the value of home ownership and executing while the grease is hot, if you will. I love that, and that kind of coincides with some of the comments in the chat that I think Lisette and Ronnie just spoke to just some of their feedback from Patty Goodspeed, which is in alignment with exactly what we're talking about, focusing on the benefits of home ownership. In that, let's go straight to a call. You got a Zillow call. There's three objectives when we take a call. ALM. It's as simple as that. Now, if any of you guys are athletes or you've been around athletes, you've heard of one of the greatest basketball coaches, basketball minds of all time, won multiple collegiate Division I championships at UCLA, Mr. John Wooden. John Wooden has this approach, regardless of that he takes with the team at the beginning of each season after they've won a national championship. He doesn't assume that this team is going to pick up where the previous year's team left off. His famous quote is this: "You have to teach the athlete how to tie their shoes all over again the correct way." So what he does is he literally has a practice session where he's teaching athletes how to properly put on your socks, properly put on your basketball shoes, properly tighten your strings from the base all the way up to the ankle to ensure that they've got accurate support so that they can perform at their highest capability on the basketball court. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not John Wooden, but it is time for us to go back to the drawing board and learn how to relace our high tops from the base up to the top to ensure that we have support to continue to produce at the highest level. That starts with ALM. There's one function for appointment. A, set the appointment. L, understand what their market range is. M, what do they like? Let's break this down in the simplest forms. Set the appointment. A, location. What about Richmond? Are you open to Pinole, Hercules, Vallejo? This information allows you to identify the areas by which you can provide the most value. And why did you call? What do you like? The goal is not just to set the appointment. We got to go from shifting a casual, yes, I'm down to see 123 Main Street tomorrow, to a real commitment from the consumer. That's why we're seeing the gap of 25% between appointment set and appointment met. We're saying, yes, we got you on the appointment, but our cadence, our rhythm, and our sequence hasn't been such as to where there's a commitment, a sense of ownership from the consumer, to where they're not looking at this as just another meeting. They're looking at this as an opportunity to gain more value. Sam, let her in. She was out and then she's back in. Tanisha, how do you turn a casual yes into a real commitment? That's what we're going to talk about today. Like tactical applications, what we say, how we do it, why we do it, so that we can tighten this space between our set and met. Ladies and gentlemen, people don't just show up to appointments. They show up to a decision that they have committed to. When we understand that, it enlightens it enlightens the work that we have. How do you get them to commit to a decision that they made in the ALM call? Think about it. What in my workflow, what in my frame, what in my presentation am I giving that they grab onto it and take a sense of ownership that, yes, I'm coming to this meeting because there's value there for me. If you're still thinking about it, maybe you don't have a sequence in place right now. And we need to really break that down, because there's a way to get your consumer to commit to making the decision and driving that home. Big O, is that another hand? Or
Yeah. I didn't know you was asking us to say something, but
if you got something to say, say it, brother.
I do have a question as well too that coincides with this is how many people actually let them know that we're partners with Zillow and they don't need to keep hitting that agent button, because I do feel, Vernon, it may be not a huge percentage. I'm thinking maybe 5, maybe hopefully not more than that. But I think a lot of people dip off and go ahead and click that button again because they're not told that. They don't automatically know that, hey, hey Jeff, like I got your message for 1023 Main Street. We're booked for today. I just wanted to let you know we're Zillow partners, so now you don't have to go back and forth to Zillow and keep requesting the agents. Every time you like that property, I get a notification. So if you want to go see all 5 of these properties that you looked at yesterday, just let me know so I can book it, so I can make a good day of it for us and not just go see one property.
Oh,
You got to set that in the mindset, because I kid you not, and I don't think it was not because no follow-up or anything, but our client that I had for almost a year and a half, we literally had her in contract, but somebody stole her money. Long, crazy story. But she actually went back to the fucking app and picked up an agent. So when Gary called her the other day, she's like, oh, I'm already in contract. It's like, what the fuck? We've been calling you for weeks, checking in 3-4 times a week. So sometimes just hammering that in, and I got a new script that I put together that I'm about to print out to give to all my mentees. If anybody else wants it, I'll put it in Slack later on. But that's been a game changer for me. I had been paused for a while, but that was where I was getting caught up at a lot. And I think I'm around 55. I'm trying to get it at the 60% because I want all my numbers to be exactly at the exact numbers we need them to be at. So that's been a game changer for me, just letting them know that. And it's like, hey, I got a great partner system too. So if I miss something, Gary's going to see it. We're busting them on and busting their ass down on both the app and actual through Follow Up Boss and the actual app. So if you go through the Zillow app and you press the text, it'll go straight to your phone, iPhone, whatever type. And then the other one is directly from the app. So sometimes if they ignore you on one, you'll at least get back to them to at least re-engage conversation. So those 2 things have been huge for me.
Moral of thank you, old dog, for sharing your sentiment, man. I hate to hear anytime, and I've been in that position too. That shit sucks when you have a relationship with someone and for some reason or another, for whatever reason, we find out that they went in contract with somebody else. But the moral of the story is, from Otis's learning, is you can't lose with over communicating. And you can't lose with setting a clear direction and a precedent for the relationship. Okay. Let's get into some tactical stuff. Your job is to turn a casual yes into a real commitment when you initially receive that call. How do you book that appointment, and how do you turn, yes, Otis, I want to see 123 Main Street tomorrow. How does Otis turn that yes into a commitment that I've made because I'm showing this a commitment based on a decision that I've made? See, people are going to show up to decisions that they've committed to. If Otis says, yes, Vernon or Gary, I'm going to be at 123 Main Street tomorrow. And Gary says, excellent. I'm going to set up tomorrow at 2:00 just for you. Is there a 100% guarantee that you're going to meet me there? And Otis says, yes. He has just made a decision he's committed himself to a decision. That's a lock in from the consumer. Are we creating and crafting our questions that way so that we get that psychological ownership of the consumer on the initial call? And I'm not going to ask you an open-ended question without giving you something tactical and tangible. Here's what that sounds like, y'all. Let's keep it simple. I just ran it. Hey, Otis, I got you down for tomorrow at 123 Main Street at 5:00. I'm setting this time aside just for you. Are you 100% good with that? What is Otis going to say? Yes, Vernon, I'm 100% good with that. Did we just increase the probability that Otis is going to show up to the appointment met once we've set it because he's bought into a decision that he made for himself? The answer to that question is yes. The work becomes taking it further. Perfect. To Otis's point, over communicating can't do us no harm. Between now and then, here's what we do next. I'm going to prep a few things specifically for you, for your situation, so that we can make this really productive. Like to Otis's point, you heard what he said. I'm your agent on Zillow moving forward. If you want to see any other properties, let's go ahead and make this situation as productive as we possibly can. Here's what's going to happen next. The consumer's reaction is, okay, Lead me. Let me stop. How many of us, and being honest and transparent, are getting to the point of booking the appointment and setting the frame by getting commitment based on the decision that the consumer made to show up to the appointment? Don't even bring up the BRBC. That's the new play right there. Otis, do not. Okay, he got me sidetracked because I'm about to go somewhere else. What he is saying is a dose of game. Although that's not where I'm going, but that needs to be highlighted. My question: how many of you are booking the ALM with the goal of getting ownership of your consumer to be at that appointment? Anybody else? If your hand is not raised, why not? You're losing an opportunity. Look, we're converting the conversation into an appointment. We're just not getting them down the funnel. We losing money on the back end because we don't have them committed. Gary, is that a new hand, old hand?
I was just raising my hand to agree with you. Asked who's doing this.
Okay.
So I thought that was you said raise a hand. I just didn't get a chance to do the emoji. But no, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Hey, listen, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a lead generation problem. We have a conversion gap problem between commitment and action. That's where our challenge is. There's a gap between getting the consumer to commit and getting the consumer to actually act on the decision that they made to commit. That's where our work lies right there. When we master how to tighten the space in that gap, you don't need no more leads. The leads that are in your database will convert. It's the strategic approach that we have to consider. Close the gap, and your pipeline doesn't just grow. Your shit takes off, and you don't have to make an additional call. Now, how do you create a mutual commitment? What does that sound like? I want you to begin to position the meeting as valuable, not optional. I want you to start shifting your consumer to decision mode at the initial call. Okay? Now, are we eliminating, is there dead space between when we set the appointment, the commitment, and when we meet the appointment, the action? Someone take themselves off of mute. Matter of fact, Maria, I'm going to call on you because I'm just going to call on you. You're right there in the middle of my screen. What is the sequence, Maria, between when you set the appointment, you get the commitment, and you meet the appointment, which is the action? What's the sequence?
Okay, so once the appointment is set, which if you complete your ALM properly, you should have an appointment set. Typically, I will go into the MLS just to confirm that it is in fact available at the time we mentioned. And then that gives me another reason to reach out to the client to confirm once again. I also usually this will be covered on the first call. If it's not, I will figure out if they're a first-time home buyer or not. If they are a first-time home buyer, I go ahead and send them the Team Fast Buyer's Guide. That way I'm already providing value without meeting them. I feel like if you can show the client how much value you bring before you even meet them face-to-face, they're going to feel more inclined to work with you because they're like, wow, this person already put in all this work for me. I'll feel bad not showing up. So I do that and then also just do my homework. So I'm always going to take a look at the property, take a look at the disclosures, become an expert for that property and any other properties we're taking a look at. That way I can show the client that their time is valuable to me and I did my homework. And you were asking like, what other things do I do before I meet them?
Yeah, but you hit the nail on the head right there. The operative word that Maria, thank you for that thorough breakdown of what your sequence is. She has a sequence, but ladies and gentlemen, the operative word is value. She is intentional about the steps and the touch points that deliver value way before she ever meets the consumer. Why? Because folks are going to show up to something that they place a value on. No one wants to just go to another meeting. How many people is in this screen? There's damn near 30 of us in this room. We all got hella meetings on our calendar. I can look at everybody's face on this screen because I pretty much know everybody on this screen. We all got hella shit going on. Can I get an amen? Nobody wants to go to a meeting just to go to a meeting. But Lisette will take time out of her day if she knows the meeting is going to bring her value. She'll make time. It'll become important to her. So it's our job as the agent to present the value and garner some anticipation on the consumer's lens. Listen, got 9 minutes. Let me try. I want to honor everybody's time, but I got to get through a little bit. Jeff, I see you, big dog. Hold on 1 second. Check me out. Most agents, and I don't assume that it's anyone in this call, most agents set the appointment, forget about the appointment, and hope that the consumer shows. Like there's no cadence, no sequence, no rhythm between setting it. We set it. I got a yes. Good. I got an appointment set for tomorrow. Okay, let me go on to the next thing. Yep, I'm already going to assume that they show because they called. They wanted to book the appointment. They said yes to the appointment. I'm assuming that they're going to show. That's what most agents do. But high performers do something completely different. They set the appointment and then they build the relationship. And then they increase the anticipation of the value add at the appointment met, which results in a higher response in the appointment met status. Jeff, what's your contribution, bro? I want to keep your hand
really quick. I'm piggyback off what Maria said about value. Like I feel like that's how I also get people to show up is I preface the first call of like, hey, are you a first time buyer? And then they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I love you guys because I love teaching you how to walk through the house and what to look for as something for a reason why, you should or shouldn't buy the house, right? I preface it like, all right, I'm going to teach you how to do it. And then I also tell them, hey, I will have also an educational packet for you the first time that we meet. So that way you can take notes as we're going through. And it'll also give you some information on the process and also what to look for. And then when I'm following up from the like, hey, just wanted to let you know, are we all still good for today? Like say the day of the appointment, it's also going to have another text message or like in it is going to say, because I do have your packet ready for you and I can't wait to meet you and I can't wait to show you how to walk through this house together with us and let's go on this journey together, right? So I'm also letting them know like that value, that curriculum is coming for you. Like when you get there, it's going to be prepared. So then they're anticipating it. And most times when I get to the end of a transaction with a Zillow, they're like, I appreciate that you took the time to teach us how to walk through the house. And that's really what kept us with you.
Yo, let me echo Jeff's contribution. Thank you, big dog. I hope you got my text message this morning. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Listen, high performers increase the anticipation. Like that's a chess move to foster and manufacture them anticipating a packet, them anticipating being educated, them anticipating meeting him because they understand that he's the answer to their questions of the unknown when they're making the biggest purchase that they'll ever make in their lives. By building that anticipation. And here's what that looks like. You guys, put emphasis on not just setting the appointment and forgetting about it. I want you to put emphasis on setting it, develop the relationship, and manufacture anticipation before you meet the lead. To Maria's point, to Jeff's point, to O-Dog's point, thank you all for your contribution. Here is a tactical, simple, step-by-step 3-point touch system. As soon as you book the appointment, video, Hey man, looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'll come prepared with the options based upon what we learned in the conversation. This is going to be a dope showing session. Anticipation. Immediately after we just learned we set the appointment, understood their market range, location, and learned what they like. We should have gathered some information from them that begins to establish some form of a relationship. We get off the call. You send a video. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I'm going to come prepared with some anticipation based on what you share. The day before the showing. Now, this may not be applicable if we get a call today and the showing is tomorrow. Like a lot of us have those experiences, but the touch system remains the same. We can ebb and flow. But 24 hours before that appointment, are you sending a text? What are you sending to continue to compound on the anticipation of them actually being able to meet you? Something as simple as a video after a call, follow-up text the day before or the day before the appointment. Hey, tomorrow we're going to map out your buyer strategy, the next steps so that you can move with confidence. Is there anything you want me to prepare specifically for you? Now, you use your own wording. The point that I'm making is giving you touch points and the different touch points that are going to result in more anticipation. Again, we're focused on the delta of 25% between set and met and what we could do to tighten that up. That's all we're talking about today. So it's setting the appointment, having them show up ready based on anticipation, and then move the needle forward. ALM, build up anticipation, present value in your touch points between set and met. The day of, hey man, today's still a good time for you. I got a few properties I really think you're gonna like. I've got my buyer tour ready to go. I'm super excited to pass it off to you. Today's gonna be a blast. If I'm getting these touch points and these messages after I booked an appointment and they've established some form of relationship, I don't know about you, but me, I'm like, I want to meet with Otis because he got a packet for me. Jeff said this is going to be fun. And we ain't even role playing. We just hypothetically, and the excitement that I'm feeling from the contributions that Otis, Gary, Jeff, and others had, Maria as well, got me excited. I'm thinking about, well, shit, if somebody did that to me, I'd be ready to go. It's like, I don't need, you can give me the BRBC in the folder and say, oh yeah, because I'm going to want to, based upon what you have garnered and manufactured in me from an emotional, psychological standpoint, from the moment that I booked the appointment, how you handled that, and I haven't even met you yet. That's how we tighten that gap, y'all. So here's what I want you to focus on this week. You're crushing it answering the phone. I ain't mad. We right around hovering the 60% appointment set. We turning the conversation into an appointment. Ain't mad at that either. We falling off right at the Met. So implement these touch points. Be intentional about it. Every lead that you get from today forward for the next week, be sure to implement those touch points between set and met to do what? Manufacture anticipation. That's all we want to do. Present value. That's it. And get them to commit to the decision that they made. That's all I want you to focus on. Super tangible, super doable. Focus on that cadence. But after you set it, what value am I going to deliver? How am I going to manufacture anticipation between set and met? How can I get them to commit to the decision that they made for themselves? And we provided a super easy one. Yo, I'm scheduling you for 123 Main Street tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm setting that time aside specifically for you. You 100% good to make that? Lock them in. And then hit them with the value. Build on the anticipation. Go with something in your hand, as Jeff suggested, at the appointment met. Master that right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I got for you. Grace, peace, and blessings to you. You guys crush your freaking weekend, man. I'm super proud of everything that you guys have accomplished up to this point. But right now, we learning how to tie our shoelaces back up to the top again, according to Coach Wooden's framework. And I'm expecting us to just take off at a different level. Remember, if you're interested in Stockton Conversion Coach, you want to be a part of this crazy team, go ahead and respond to Elias's email. Click the link. Get in the space for an interview. I'm looking forward to bringing some new blood, some new energy into this environment so that we can keep producing at the capacity that we're capable of as a top team on the planet. Peace, y'all.